Hey everyone, Sam here. Well, I don't know if it's winter where you are, but you can tell by my turtleneck sweater, it's winter where I am now up in the mountains. We had some fabulous snow. Boy, did we need it. And oh, it's so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So, wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying your fabulous, beautiful weather. Um, I wanted to share something with you about the magic that you can experience um, when you actually experience different dimensions. Now, I talk about meditation all the time, and you can even just do very simple things of just being calm, focusing on your breath, and, visualize something perfect. I mean, you can physically change where you are or your experience of your physical location, your 3D physical location right now by choosing a different scenario, by choosing a different visual. Okay, just like there's a lot of information out there now about, all time, exists concurrently, and that it's simply a matter of picking a different photograph, picking a different slide, picking a different screen, a scenario, a scene, pick this segment on the film instead of this segment on the film, because everything exists simultaneously. Now, this doesn't just happen, um, through meditation. I mean, yes, absolutely. You use meditation to do this, to visualize it, so that you can bring about that change in your world. Um, you can bring about healing. You can bring about changes in the weather. You can bring about peace. You have to see it. You have to visualize it. When you see that, you actually slide into that reality. Now, I'm going to share something with you that I'm telling you, it's really odd. It just the experience when it first happens to you, it can really be a strange experience. So, um, I've been involved, with Native people most of my life, and my mother was half Native, and it's just you get drawn to certain things, certain cultures. You it feels right. And there's one particular place I had gone there to visit a friend, and this place is on the Navajo reservation, and I'd been there a number of times before. It's unbelievably sacred, the center of the Navajo reservation, and Hopi is right there in the middle of, the Navajo reservation, and that whole area is unbelievably sacred. It is the place, and I truly believe they believe this, they know this, and I in my heart know this as well. This is the spot, this is the place where the star people came to first seed humanity upon the earth. They know they are the first peoples. So anyway, there I am down in the bottom of this magnificent canyon visiting with my friend, who all of a sudden, as a gift, a belated birthday present or whatever, gave me this really cute pair of socks. And you know how you get these socks that have, wolves on them, or dogs or cats, or whatever your choice, your animal is, that you love. They have all these cute little images on there. So I got these. He gave me these cute little socks with Cocopelli on them. And I'm holding these socks. And I said, Ted, you already gave me these socks. And he said, no, I didn't. I haven't seen you for like 3 years. I said, well, but I have these socks. I've been wearing them for a long time. And he said, well, I don't know how that's possible because I haven't given them to you. I said, all right, fine. A little while later, as a belated Christmas present, he hands me this beautiful book of poetry. And the gentleman who wrote the book had come also to visit the canyon, and my friend Ted thought it might be something that I would like. So he had this gentleman autograph it, and he gave me this book of poetry. And again, I'm holding this book. And I said, Ted, I already have this book. And he said, that's impossible. I just got it. Um, not long ago, and I haven't had a chance to give it to you. I haven't seen you." And I said, "But Ted, I have this book. I've read it. It's on my bookshelf. I have this book. You gave this to me already." So, and he swore he didn't. So that was, at the time, that was really weird. It was really difficult for me at that moment to quite figure out that I actually had stepped through a veil into a different dimension, a different time frame. I was in one of the most sacred places on the planet. It's like the sacred center of North America, where I was. And time clearly did not exist. So I was kind of moving through all these slides of moments and re-experiencing what I had already experienced, apparently, 2-3 years prior. So that was a very, very odd experience. Also, that is the same place, same time when I had my Bigfoot experience. And um, that was really, really, really unusual. I was walking down the canyon. It was early in the morning. The sun hadn't come up yet. I'm walking down the canyon. I know I've probably shared this before with some of you. I'm walking down the canyon. The sun hasn't come up yet. And I'm on like an offshoot of the canyon where it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm looking to the left, and I see all these these mountain sheep climbing up the cliff to my left. And it's just getting more and more narrow as I walk. And then all of a sudden, as I'm going along, I become aware of something behind me or someone. You know how you get that feeling like you're being followed, you're being watched. And I knew there was somebody there. So I slowly turn around. I don't see anybody, but I start to smell this scent, like a very musky, kind of a musky scent. So wasn't any cologne I recognized from the past. So as I walk along, I'm still aware of this. Suddenly I hear this noise, like a sort of like a grunt. It was a noise. It was like, huh, huh. I thought, oh boy, what the heck is that? And it was behind me. And again, I turn around. I don't see anything, but I continue walking. And my friend was still asleep back at the camp. So I walk further. I come to this, like a pond that's full of reeds and things, and has a giant boulder. And now the canyon is like really narrow. I mean, it's narrow. I'm like at the end of the canyon, little pond, reeds, big boulder. I'm freezing cold. I climb up on the boulder so that I can get the first rays of the sun as it's coming up and warming the rock. And I'm laying there. And it's like, oh, it was just magnificent laying there in the sun. And suddenly next to me, a branch breaks, a big branch. And I kind of roll my head, and I don't see what's causing this, but I see the branches break and I hear them. Large limbs are crack, break, crunch, crunch. All this noise is going on. I thought, oh, maybe I should head back to camp. So I turn around. Yeah, I jump off the boulder, turn around, and I'm just slowly making my way back up through the canyon. And yeah, the there's the mountain sheep climbing the cliff, and again, here comes this sound. Huh, huh. And I thought, oh man. So I continue walking towards the camp. Just as I'm almost at camp, I stop because I become aware of the musky scent and everything. I stop, I turn around, I see a footprint, except that it has 4 toes. I'm thinking, all right, now, if any place else in the world, perhaps I might imagine there was, a monkey, giant ape, something big with 4 toes, but no, the, there weren't any there that I was aware of. So I saw this footprint with 4 toes, and I thought, oh boy. So I carry on, get to camp, wake up my friend. So I said, Ted, I got to show you something. And he's Navajo. Of course, he finds me amusing, I think. He comes trotting along behind me. So I point to this footprint. I said, Ted, I know you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but I think Bigfoot's here in the canyon. And he sort of grins at me. I said, what? And he says, okay, you see that cliff over there? And, these cliffs are like a mile and a half, 2 miles high. He says, my sister sits up there in the mornings and watches Bigfoot move around down here. She even waves at him and Bigfoot will acknowledge her. Like, okay. So, and then also when you start looking at the pictographs and the petroglyphs, there are footprints with 4 toes in the pictographs. And the caves, the ceilings and the walls of the old caves that are like 2,500 years old. The Anasazi carved out these footprints in the cave, along with space people and the antelope and mountain sheep and all the other wild animals. But anyway, I just wanted to share this, how, in fact, when you meditate on a regular basis, you are, in fact, tuning in to a way higher vibrational frequency. You are tuning into all that is. You are tuning into the experience of all things happening now. You are tuning into whatever the experience is at the moment that you want, you need, your higher self wants to take you to, whatever it is. But you see, it's not just when you're meditating that you can have an out-of-body experience or go through a veil or, experience a different dimension. It can also happen 3D, but now you're in a completely different time period. So you can, in fact, travel to the past. You can, in fact, go to the future. So that's another reason for meditation. Because especially for all of you that want to reconnect with spirit, somebody that you love, you can also do that too, because you have the capability of changing your perception, your reality. You have the capability of changing the dimension in which you are experiencing life. And that's how we can create a healed earth, a healed world, and a healed humanity. So anyway, I'll tune in with you later on. Okay, bye-bye.